guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Samaya Marie, aka Maya, and today I am back with another video. As you guys can see, I am going to be showing you start to finish how you can install this 12-inch 13x4 lace front bob wig. Yes, and this, oops, I dropped something, y'all see that. This bob, this wig, I love this wig so much. Like, y'all, look at this. Was already perfectly cut. Okay, hair is super silky, super soft. The most full body wig I have ever had. Well, I wouldn't say ever had, but this is a very full body wig, and you know they could have definitely cheated us with the wig. Not to mention the wig is from Amazon. Yes, the wig is an Amazon wig, and you can get the wig too if you just click the link down in my description box. It'll take you right to the wig. It should have a discount. When I bought the wig, I think the wig was about I think 30 to 40% off, something like that. So you can also get the wig too. I believe it should still be on sale by the time you guys see it. If not, the wig is still a good price, okay? Like, you can still get this wig for a really, it's a steal. Just go get it, okay? Just to let you guys know, not only is the wig going to be linked in the description box, but every product that I use to install this wig is going to be linked down in the description box, so you do not have to worry if I do not specifically state what I am using, or I don't tell you where to get it, because the links to everything that I use will be linked down in the description box, and you can get them right from Amazon. So have them shipped right to your door. You can be ready for this wig install that we're about to do. Anyways, let me go ahead and stop the yip yap. I'm gonna let y'all get right into the video, because y'all see how it is, y'all see how it looks, okay? And we're looking really good. Like I said, I'm gonna stop the yip yap. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all watch it, and yeah, I'm gonna roll the clip. Okay guys, so before we get into the video, you know I like to unbox the wig with you guys, so we're gonna head and do that before we jump into the video. So this is the packaging that it came in. Beautiful packaging. I love like the design on the bag. Plus, I feel like I've never got a red bag before, so I thought that was pretty cool. It came in like this little bow, like they had tied in a little bow, so I thought that was so cute. Like I said, packaging and presentation is always important to me. That lets me know that they put a lot of care into their products, and that's important. They come with like a lot of different stuff. They give you a little instruction manual, how to like take care of the hair, like how to prep it, wash it, the aftercare, all that good stuff. But trust and believe, I know how to wash my wigs, I know how to take care of my wigs, so I don't really need this. But if you want it, you could keep it. Okay. So it comes with 2 wig caps. That's also something I really like when brands do that, when they send wig caps, because if you're sending me a wig and you know I'm gonna need a wig cap, why you ain't slide me a little wig cap? So they gave me 2, but when you look up close, like it looks like it's only 1, but I don't know, we'll see when you install it. I believe these are extra bands and extra like an extra comb for the wig that you can sew on there. I think these are what you use to make the wig. Like if you wanted a glueless wig, you want to just be able to like slide it off, slide it on without having to use lace glue and all that type of stuff. They got the band in there for that, and then they have an extra comb for extra security, I think, for that purpose as well. It comes in this like little bag right here. As you can see, this little plastic bag. So as you can see, of course, it says 12-inch on the bag, and this is how it looks when it's in the packaging. As you see, it's got a nice little shine on there, and it has a net on it and all that good stuff. You guys, I always tell you guys this. Well, I don't always. I kind of just started telling you guys this. Keep your nets, keep your packaging, and keep these little things, okay? Keep those. Before we get into the video, keep them. She's bouncy, she's flowy, okay? She's moving. Very soft, very silky, like really nice. I'm looking at my clothes to see if any shedding is happening, because you know, just because I'm running my hands through it doesn't mean that it'll be on my hand. It might be on my clothes. It's not really shedding for real. Like, I really am like getting in there and trying to make sure it's okay, and it's not. shedding for real, but you know, that might change after washing it. So as you can see by the lace, it's supposed to be a 13x4 lace, but usually what I notice about straight wigs versus curly wigs is that the curly wigs will actually be accurate. They will actually be 13x4, and then I feel like the straight wigs are usually like they have this loop right here. So I don't know what that's about, but that's just what I'm learning. But either way, okay, it's got a nice amount of space right there though, like you can't lie. You know, that's a good amount. It's a good like inch of space. So it works. Okay, now that we've unboxed the wig and we've pretty much seen what we're working with, which we're working with something like pretty good. This is pretty good quality hair from what I'm seeing right now. Let's go ahead and get into prepping the wig. Before I continue, I'm just gonna let you guys know that the rest of the video is going to be a voiceover, because I can get right to the point and be more specific when I do voiceovers, rather than if I'm trying to talk and I'm trying to install the wig at the same time, because I'm not that good at multitasking. Anyways, thank you for listening to my TED Talk, and I'll see you guys in the next clip. Before we install this 12-inch bob wig, you're going to need a few things to start off, and we're going to start off by bleaching the knots. So what you're going to need is the things that I just showed you, which is the BW2 powder, some 40 or 50 developer. If you're a beginner, I recommend using 40, and you know, a mixing bowl, something to mix with, and of course some purple shampoo. Now, as you can see, when I bleach my knots to my wigs, I usually use about 2 scoops of the BW2 powder. And for the developer, like I said, if you are a beginner, I would recommend using a 40 developer instead of 50, because obviously 50 would be, you know, a little bit stronger, meaning that it'll bleach faster. And if you're a beginner, you don't want to accidentally over bleach your knots. So when I'm adding in the developer, I kind of just eye it out. I don't actually know how much I'm actually putting in there, but I'm assuming it's a 2-to-1 ratio. Now, I make sure to mix it thoroughly every time I add in there. And to make sure the consistency is right, it's going to look something kind of like toothpaste. It's going to be like really thick looking. It's just going to look like you added a whole bunch of toothpaste into the container. And so when I start applying the bleach mixture to the knots, I start from the back and I work my way to the front. And this is because I want to make sure that the knots in the back are just as bleached as the ones in the front. And as you know, usually these wigs always come like pre-plucked, so the hair is thinner in the front than it is in the back. So of course, if you start from the front and move to the back, you know, you have the higher chance of over bleaching your knots and possibly damaging the hairline of your wig. So you're just going to press in there, not too much, but just enough so that you cover the knots on the bottom of the lace and on the top of the lace. You just want to make sure you get both sides, but not pressing in too harshly. And this is what it should look like when you're finished. We're going to let that sit for about, I would say 20 to 40 minutes. But I say check on it from 10-minute intervals. Now, once I know that it is complete, as you can see, the hairline looks a bit orange. That's how I know that it's properly bleached. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with some regular shampoo, and I'm going to try to remove that bleach residue. Trust me, guys, you want to make sure you thoroughly wash it with some, you know, clarifying shampoo, just to make sure that you rinse out all of that bleach residue, because it will continue to bleach if you don't rinse that stuff out. Not only will it continue to bleach, but it'll just run into the hair. It'll make the hair kind of oily and sticky. It's just terrible. So to revive the wig, because you know most wig companies, you know, add like, I don't know, silicones and preservatives, all types of stuff on the wig to make it look nice and shiny when it gets to you. But after you wash it, trust me, it's not going to look the same. So what I like to do is I like to go in with some silicone mix, probably like, you know, a quarter size amount, if not 2 quarter size amounts, and rake it through. That's going to bring the wig right back to life. When I tell you guys, this is the key to having your wigs last forever, look shiny, silky, moisturized, just everything. And then also I'm going to go in with some Adore color 10. This is the crystal clear one. And as you can see, I'm just drizzling it. I'm not even measuring. I'm just putting as much as I think I need on there to make sure my wig is shiny. And what I like to do is I like to leave it on there for about 25 to 30 minutes, because that's how long it takes for the Adore to settle in. And guys, look at that shine. Amazing. We're going to let that sit, like I said, for about 25 to 30 minutes. And we're going to come back and rinse it out. And also, guys, don't forget to always wash it with purple shampoo. Now, after I washed the wig, I went ahead and blow dried just a little bit so that it's not like soaking wet or anything like that. And I went in and I started the plucking method that I use. So I use the pluck and skip method. So what I'm doing right now is, of course, I am using a hot comb, going in, making sure that that hairline is flat. And we're going to be parting it in 2 sections. So I parted it right down the middle. One side part straight down. I combed it straight down. And then the other one, I combed it upwards because that's the side that I'm going to be working on. So as you can see, I'm going straight back, really making sure everything is flat, making sure that I can see everything so that I can make sure I get this plucking right, okay? If you want to also do this, you can go in either with some mousse or a wax stick, or you can go in with some spritz like I did. And what I like to do when I pluck is I like to take that first layer or that first row of hair, and I just like to just move that downwards, because I'm not going to pluck that. That's already pre-plucked. I don't need to pluck that. I need to pluck everything that's behind that, okay? So what we're going to do is, like I said, I finally got a water bottle, a spray bottle. So I sprayed it a little bit just to make it damp, make it easier to pluck the hair and really get a grip on it. And what I like to say is a pluck skip method. So you're going to pluck in one area, then you're going to like skip like a row of hair, and you're going to pluck the area next to that row, okay? And it's going to give you kind of like it's like a stitch kind of thing. You know, like some areas you'll have, you know, more hair, and then the other area will have like a little bit of less hair. It's going to continuously do that to the entire half of the head, okay? And you're just going to keep plucking. Make sure you're being gentle, because with this wig, I was being a little rough. I probably was a little rusty. And I end up ripping like 2-3 holes in my wig because I was being way too rough. So you want to be careful of not being too rough, because you don't want your lace to be patchy. So you don't want it to be patchy. You don't want it to have holes in it. You don't want to mess up a good quality lace, okay? So as you can see, this is what it's looking like so far. And then I'll be sure to show you guys what it looks like after I'm done with doing a couple of rows. Oh, yes, and I forgot to say, you're going to do this for about maybe like 2-3 rows back. I usually do 2 rows because I pluck just enough so that I don't have to do 3 rows. But if you feel like you're not plucking, you know, strong enough, or you're not plucking enough, you can do 3 rows and, you know, be safer that way. But I just do 2. 2 is usually enough for me. You're going to repeat that process on the second row, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Hey y'all, so this is what it looks like plucked, and then the other side is what it looks like, and it's not plucked, not plucked, and plucked is what we want to go with, okay? It looks super natural, super good. I plucked this wig, okay? So now we're going to go in, we're going to just blow dry it, because I did spray it with water, so I want to make sure everything's dry before I start installing it. And this is also to straighten it too, because I want to make sure the bob keeps most of its volume. So I'm not going to focus on flat ironing it too much and putting too much heat in it. I do want it to be like nice and fluffy and voluminous. So I'm really just making sure that I straighten as much as I can with my blow dryer, kind of like a blowout. Right, and it's just gonna look nice, silky, flowy, you know, not putting in too much extra heat. Now moving on to the next step of installing this 12-inch bob wig. I already have my ball cap on. If you guys want to see how I do my ball cap method, I'll be sure to add a card. And if you're looking at how I'm installing the wig, I already have my glue on as well. I did 2 layers of bold hold active. I did film it, but I can't seem to find the footage or the clip of that. So we're just gonna have to move on to the next step, which is basically laying the wig down, which is kind of like the most important part, really. So basically, as you can see, I combed in the lace and made sure everything was like even, and you know, everything, my middle part was basically aligned with everything. And as you can see, I went ahead and put my wig band on, and I'm going to leave that on until my hair basically is like completely styled, or at least, you know, flat ironed through and things of that nature. And usually that takes about maybe like, I probably leave it on for like 20 to 30 minutes. Just as long as I feel like I need to, especially like letting the glue dry, because that is the most important part, is letting that glue dry underneath the band, and making sure that you don't remove it too early on in the wig installation process. As you can see, like, I'm literally just combing through, I'm flat ironing it, I'm making sure everything is even, I'm making sure it's bouncy, it's silky. As you can see, I'm combing through it, and y'all, do y'all see that shine? That shine every time I turn my head? Yeah, that's how you want your wigs to look. And as you can see, I'm taking off the band, and I always like comb the hair back to make sure like everything looks, you know, natural, and you know, just it looks good and everything is stable. You know, you don't want the wig kind of sliding back or anything like that. You want to make sure that wig is laid on there, okay? So I took 2 clips, pinned the hair back, and now we're starting to get ready to remove that lace. So when I am removing my lace, I always like to cut it in like sections. This makes it so much easier to just remove that lace, the excess lace. For a beginner, you can cut the lace in 4 pieces, but sometimes I'll do 2. But for this video, I just went ahead and did 4 so that I can show you guys how to remove it if you were to do 4 pieces. As you can see, I'm taking a eyebrow razor and I'm pushing it kind of towards the side along with the back of the lace, and I'm just doing like jagged edges. And as you can see, I'm pulling back as I go. That's to kind of remove anything that's not stuck to my head. So if the lace is not stuck to that glue, I don't want it on me. I'm just gonna cut it off. And as you can see, I'm going in with some concealer. As you can see, I'll be sure to link that in the description. And I put it on my lace, and then after I put the concealer on my lace with the little wide brush, I take some Spritz, spray it on my finger, and I just apply little, you know, just a little amounts on my lace, so that when I put my wig band on, it's going to be melted, okay? It's going to be giving skin, okay? Straight skin, and that's what you want. Now, as you can see, now I'm taking some styling mousse, and I'm just putting it on basically the T part of my wig, which is basically the middle part and the edges of my wig. And I'm taking a hot comb, and I'm just hot combing everything back. It's gonna make it get everything like sleek and smooth. It's gonna really, you know, show off that plucking that we did earlier. It's literally just the holy grail of just getting everything, you know, nice and flat, sleek. It's just amazing. Just do it. And then afterwards, we're gonna start on the edges. Y'all know, if y'all watched me for a while, you guys know how much I love fluffy edges. And I'm gonna be inserting a picture of my inspiration for these edges, because I did my edges differently this time. I wanted to style them just a little bit different because I was tired of the same old. So I decided to, you know, jazz it up a little. So this time, not only did I do my edges longer than I usually do my edges, but I also did them thinner. If you guys see the pictures of the thumbnail, I did my edges way thinner than I usually do, but I still maintained the fluffiness of them, the curliness, the just effortless look of the edges. They just fell directly into place. And as you can see, when I start off doing my edges and my sideburns, I just take my flat irons and I just curl them. And as you can see, I'm using like a wide flat iron. I never necessarily needed a like skinny flat iron, like usually like the most times professionals do the edges. because, you know, the way my forehead is, I don't know. I think I just like my edges to be bigger, so I like them to be swooped bigger. And as you can see, I'm kind of just, you know, sectioning everything out, making sure, you know, I'm getting that one area for the curl. I think I ended up not doing that piece that I have in my hand at the moment because I think it was just a little bit too high up. So what I did was I took a piece of my sideburn and I just, you know, styled it upward instead of using a piece from my actual edges. I don't know. I don't know if I can explain that properly, but you'll see further along in the video. And as you can see, what I use to style my edges, I use Spritz. Now, sometimes I will use some styling mousse because that works really good too. But I feel like I always have more control when I use Spritz. And I feel like because it dries faster and because it doesn't dry on oily, I always get the perfect fluffy edge look. So I just love using Spritz. And as you can see, once I comb the edges into shape, I started basically cutting them into shape. That way, like, no matter what, it's always going to be the exact length it needs to be for my edges to look how I want them to look. I'm sorry. So they're always going to look basically perfect because they're already cut into shape, you know. So after I did, oh, see, now I'm showing you guys. I just took a piece of my sideburn and I cut a little bit because it was a little long. Like I did make my edges super long this time, but you guys, it ended up working out. I ended up taking up a little spritz, just curling it, holding it into place, making sure that junk stayed. Now it wasn't staying to my like forehead, like as you can see, like the closer it gets to my eye, it wasn't sticking how I wanted it to. So I ended up using just a little bit of lace glue because I did not have like any other types of edge controls, because I usually don't use like too heavy of an edge controls. So I just used like a small teeny drop of lace glue and put it like near, you know, the loop, and just stuck it on there, and that way it just would not move. So that's how I got it to stay. If you're wondering how I got it to stay, that's how. After I did my edges, as you can see, the edges are eating. They are so soft. They are so cute. And they just look so like, I don't know how to explain it. They're just so cute. I'm so proud of them. But I went back in with some more mousse. And I did also use a wax stick. That's how I got to mold the hair into place. And I went back in with my hot comb, of course, to really make sure everything was flat, okay? I want to make sure that the whole front of my head is flat, okay? And I want to make sure that it looks just as natural as possible. And yeah, just wanted to mold everything into place. I tucked one side behind my ear because I love doing that for my bobs, and one side I left out. And this is the finished result, guys. It is so cute. This hairstyle literally eats, period. And now the last step that I do for my wigs, all I do is I just take a little bit of concealer and I just go ahead and run it along the middle part. Now as you can see, this one was a little bit too light for me, so I mixed it with another one. Okay, you guys, so this is the final result. As you guys can see, the install literally eats. Okay, first of all, it's giving skin. Okay, secondly, the baby hairs are laid. Not only are they nice and laid, but they're nice and soft. So of course, they move, they flow around, you know, just very soft edges, soft fluffy edges, as I should say. I love my soft fluffy edges. I'm never gonna give them up, okay? The hair, listen, okay. I don't know what that was about. I just wanted to show y'all that the bob is bobbing, okay? Perfectly cut, even. Okay, the only thing that I had to do, I had to trim it a little bit more because it's more of a diagonal cut. I usually don't do like diagonal cuts for my bobs. Usually I do them like bob, so they would look more like this instead of like this extra length in the front. But I just went ahead and decided to keep the extra length, and I just curled it even more. That way when it does start to fall, it still curls inward, so it's still not looking like too crazy, you know? So yeah, I think that is it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and be wrapping up this video. A few things before we go ahead and close out. I'm gonna need y'all to like this video. That lets me know that you like the content that I am putting out. And you know, since I'm helping you learn to install your wig, you can help me by liking this video and boosting the algorithm, I guess, and allow somebody else to see it too, because you know, you're probably not the only one that don't know how to install a wig. Go ahead and help somebody else, okay? We can all help each other. This is a community. We help each other out over here, okay? Number 2, I need y'all to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Super duper important. Why? Because you need to go ahead and make sure that you join the community, join the subscribers, join the babes, okay? Last but not least, make sure you turn on that bell notification, okay? That's going to notify you for whenever I drop a video. That way you ain't gotta never worry about being late to the party, okay? Go ahead and just hit the notification bell, hit the subscribing button, and hit that like button. And that's actually the most important, okay? To me anyways. Like I was saying, I'm going to go ahead and close out. I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, yeah. And be sure, well, if you feel free to comment below. Let me know what you guys want to see next. If you guys like the video. Like I said, I always reply to my comments. And, yeah, that's it. Bye, babes. Mwah.